I am so confused. What is going on? Garrison was touched by a man named Clive Yorkin. Clive has meta powers. He can slowly drain the life force of anyone he touches, and we haven't been able to find a cure yet. Garrison tells us that you're quite the scientist. Maybe you can help us develop one. Hold up, what does meta powers mean? We came up with the term metahuman to describe individuals with powers like you. There are a lot more metahumans in the world than you may think. Barry is still shocked by Mikey working with Garrison, so he tries to find out why he is. You said you were Garrison's closest ring of colleagues. What do you do? I'm Martin STEIN. I'm Garrison's closest lab partner. I'm Ronnie Raymond. I'm a nuclear technician and mechanic. My name's Mikey Carter. I supply Star Labs with highly advanced weapons and technology. How do you have access to that? That's none of your business. Okay then. Well, I guess we have a cure to make. Clive Yorkin is jumping from rooftop to rooftop. The cops are right on his trail. He's being pursued for murdering several people. Although CHYRE's an old man, he's still athletic enough to keep up with Clive. CHYRE shoots his gun in the air, which spooks Clive, causing him to trip over himself. DARRYL runs up and arrests Clive, but Clive touches DARRYL while he's doing it. Back at Star Labs, Barry is reading up on Clive Yorkin, trying to figure out how to make a cure. He keeps eyeing Mikey, wondering why and how he's working with Garrison. Have you found anything yet? Nothing. Wait a minute, I'm incredibly late for something. I've got to go, I'm so sorry. Barry rushes to DARRYL's house. He's a full hour late for dinner. DARRYL had already eaten, and he's surprised that Barry even showed up. You know, for the past 2 weeks, it's felt like you're not even here. What have you even been doing for the past hour? I'm so sorry, DARRYL, Were you working on your mom's case? You know what I've told you about that. Excuse me? You have no right to talk like that. I will put in all the work I want to free my real dad. I don't feel good. I'm going to bed. You should probably just go home. For the rest of the night, Barry keeps thinking about that encounter, and a part of him believes that being the Flash is taking away his life. The next day, while on patrol, DARRYL continues to feel incredibly sick. All of a sudden, he collapses and CHYRE rushes him to the hospital. At Star Labs, Barry visits Garrison to see how he's doing. He's bedridden and he looks absolutely horrible. So, what's the deal with this Clive Yorkin guy? Clive used to be a friend of mine. I heard him a long time ago and he's doing this out of revenge. Do you have any idea how we can make a cure? No, but you have to make sure he doesn't touch anyone else. Barry reads up some more on Clive to see if he can save anyone who was touched by him. That's when he finds out that Clive was chased down by the cops yesterday and arrested by FRYE. Barry then remembers how DARRYL was feeling sick and his stomach drops to the floor. He gets a call from CHYRE. Barry, DARRYL's in the hospital. Get over here as fast as you can. Barry rushes over in seconds. DARRYL, I'm so sorry. I'll fix this, I promise. No, I'm sorry, Barry. I shouldn't have gotten mad at you. You know you'll always be a son to me. Yeah, I know. Barry suits back up and runs to Iron Heights to confront Clive. Clive Yorkin, tell me how to reverse your disease now. You're trying to help Garrison SLATE, aren't you? You infected my dad. It was an accident. You've killed 14 people. Were those all accidents? Most of them. Look, I'll tell you how to make a cure if you just listen to me. What could you possibly have to say? Garrison is not a good man, and I should know. I used to be his colleague, and I'm not proud of the things we did at Star Labs. He experimented on me. He cursed me with these abilities. Barry thinks for a little bit. Are you done? You don't understand. I'm not the one you need to worry about. Garrison has hurt many people. Many dangerous people. Have you ever heard of Leonard Snart? No? I'm not even gonna get started on that story. Let's just say that you're in for a rough ride with him. But I haven't heard much about Snart lately. There is someone you have to worry about right now. If you even want to call him a someone. What are you talking about? Years ago, Garrison was trying to give himself a sort of super intelligence. He experimented on a primate. He tortured him. A silverback gorilla named GROD. Garrison's experiment worked a little too well. GROD became smarter than any man that's ever existed. He also gained extremely dangerous meta powers. GROD escaped from Garrison. He somehow managed to make it to Africa, where he was able to give other gorillas super intelligence. GROD made his own gorilla city. What the hell? Are you seriously pranking me right now? I promise you I'm telling the truth. I know it sounds absurd. GROD thinks all humans are like Garrison. He's preparing a war against humanity. The only way you can win this war is by going to GROD's gorilla city and fighting it before it starts. Okay, that's great. Can you tell me how to make a cure now? Just bring me a knife and a flask. Barry runs to Star Labs to get the supplies and then runs back to Clive, who cuts himself with the knife and pours some of his blood into the flask. Clive then explains how to use the blood to make a cure. Wait, before you leave you have to promise me you'll get through to Garrison and stop GROD. Yeah, sure. Before Barry leaves Iron Heights, he runs past his dad to check on him. Barry then takes the blood back to Star Labs and works with Martin STEIN and RONNIE RAYMOND to make the cure. Mikey doesn't help because he knows nothing about science. This is only enough for one person. It's fine, we'll just give this to Garrison right now, and then I'll go back to Clive and get some more blood for that DARRYL guy. Right, and how do you know him again? Oh, he's just a cop I worked with. Barry injects Garrison with the cure and he immediately gets better. After making sure Garrison's okay, Barry runs to Iron Heights to get more blood from Clive. But to his shock, Clive is gone. He asks a guard what happened, and the guard says that somehow Clive escaped. He also notes that they found fur similar to a gorilla's in his cell. Barry's stomach drops. He runs back to Star Labs and freaks out. No one knows how to help him. Garrison, I need you to tell me about GROD. How do you know about that? Just tell me, Garrison. All of a sudden, a portal opens in the lab, and sure enough, a giant silverback gorilla walks through it. GROD, you came back. GROD rages out and wrecks the laboratory. Let this be warning. GROD's army won't be so merciful. GROD leaves through the portal just as soon as he arrived, and without thinking, Barry follows him. DARRYL lays in the hospital. The doctors don't know what's wrong with him, so they don't know how to help. I hate to say it, but there's nothing we can do. This man is gonna die.